My nutritionist would be so upset right now.
Good. That. Enjoy it. You're here. Hello and welcome to DinnerViews. I'm Matthew Francis, and this is the show where I get to cook a dream dinner for my amazing friends here in Hollywood, and then I interview them about their life, their career, and their points of view on the world. Today, we have an amazing friend of mine who is a guest for the show tonight. He is one of the sweetest human beings you'll ever meet. We first met when we did a video together for how to make fruitcake, where I made fruitcake for the first time, and it was a journey. It was very interesting to see him work and see him in action. But he's also done so many crazy videos where he kind of goes for crazy experiences to try something so you don't have to. And he just came out with an amazing MMA video where he trained for 4 months, and it's like a short film. It's incredible. Please welcome Aria Inthavong.
Hey! Hey, Matt.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me, Matthew. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes.
And to eat.
Also, he gives amazing hugs. If you can get an Aria hug, get an Aria hug.
That's very sweet. You give actually really great hugs, too.
I go in for it.
I think because you're a tall guy, too, so
yes.
It feels very...
And I'm like kind of like a teddy bear, like a little bit like, you know, got some meat on me, so it's like warm and comforting.
It's very nurturing, for sure.
I try to. Well, yes. Thank you for being here. So the first thing I want to kind of talk to you about is just, I gave a little bit of like a current career update for you, but as you know on the show, I want to go a little bit more personal. So if they don't know who you are, and even for me, kind of give us like an update, a little like abridged life story of Aria for us.
Of my whole entire life?
Yes.
Absolutely. I grew up overseas most of my life, very lucky. My parents just brought me up in countries like Singapore, Bali, Thailand, because my dad works in the hotel business, so I moved around a lot. Spent a lot of time in France because I am Lao, and Laos is a French colony, so during the 70s, there was a socialist takeover. People were fleeing the country. People got kicked out of the country, and some of my family were part of that. And so a lot of them fled to France. Some of them fled to the U.S., and so we would often then go to France. Obviously, I wasn't kicked out of the country at the time, but when I was growing up, I would visit family in France. So I had a very international upbringing. I didn't move to the U.S. until I was 17, 18. So I had this third, we call ourselves third culture kids, because it's a third culture kid is someone that grows up in a culture that isn't their own. Because I'm Lao, but I never lived in Laos because I technically I'm not allowed to live there. I don't have I don't have citizenship there. It was great though, you know, living in different cultures because you get to meet people from so many different walks of life, and I think that kind of influences the work I do now. Yeah. Because I just love showcasing different people and lifestyles and cultures, not necessarily based on race or nationality, but it could be a thing like MMA as a subculture, or juggalos, or porn stars, you know, I find, you know, these different subcultures that make people who they are so fascinating. That's why I love looking into them. And so I guess that's kind of my life. I've just always loved filmmaking, and working in entertainment has been the only thing I've ever wanted to do. Right. So I'm just glad to be able to try and tell stories with the work I do now, and I'm glad to be able to talk to you and to eat. When it comes to like storytelling, what's great about Aria's kind of way he does it, it's like very casual and very like, I'm gonna bring you along on this journey. I don't know what's gonna happen, but here we go. That's very sweet. And people really relate to that. So it's like, if you've probably seen his videos because they always go viral, but if you haven't, go watch some more of Aria's videos. You really should watch the video that Matthew helped me with. That was a journey. That was funny. Yeah, that one didn't go viral. It should have. Yeah. But it was basically my attempt at making a fruitcake with Matthew as my mentor. Yeah. I botched it, you know. But you know what? Matthew tried his best, and it was a memorable experience, and one that I'll cherish forever. That I know how to make a fruitcake. Yeah. To an extent, and I know how it tastes. Yeah. Not a big fan of them. Yeah, basically what's funny is like, even though he like almost, you know, didn't do an amazing job, like it still just tasted like fruitcake, which is like very meh to begin with. So like it worked out. There you go. Great. So the first segment we do to also kind of just get to know you more is the game Fast Food Favorites. You may have already heard about it or seen it already. So basically, you're going to pick a name out of the hat, and you have 1 minute to like say as many as you possibly can. So you would say like your favorite salad topping, and you know, just like list it off, and you keep grabbing more. And the goal is to beat everyone else who has already been on the show, because I love competition. And so does that make sense? Do you get it? Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So I'll put a minute on the clock. Stress. Okay, I love it. You can do it. Do you consider yourself to be a competitive person, or are you more? Well, I did just get in a cage with someone. That's very true. That's very true. So, but no, you're right. I think I'm fairly competitive, especially when it comes to more lighthearted stuff. So for this one, I'm very competitive actually. So. Perfect. I will. Who's number one right now?
So season 1, the winner was Jaleesa with 24. So far, the leader of season 2 is Kelsey Dara with 19. Okay. So I think you can do it. I believe in you.
It's tough.
3, 2, 1, go.
Legume, bean, lentil, kidney.
Sure,
bean.
that works. Yep. That's it. So kidney. Now you do another.
Oh,
right?
you do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nut. Brazil nut. Donut. Glazed.
Yep. Okay.
Candy. M&Ms. Oil. Olive. Burger topping. Egg. Sandwich. BLT. Junk food. Donuts. Spice. Paprika. Bagel. Sesame. Chip flavored chocolate. Chocolate bar. Reese's Buttercups. Is that a chocolate bar? Lettuce. Is there different types of lettuce? Green lettuce.
Green, that works. Yeah.
Green lettuce. Comfort food. Chili. Rice. Sticky rice.
Ooh.
Love sticky rice. Salad toppings. Caesar. Ooh.
Oh, so Caesar will count. Good job. The one thing that really stuck out to me was for lettuce, yeah, there's like many types of greens, but green lettuce counts. Like green leaf lettuce is its own thing, so that works.
I'll take that.
And then also for chip flavor, it's so funny because you said chocolate chip, which totally works. So that's a chip, but we were thinking of like potato chips.
No.
But I guess there is chocolate covered potato chips too. But that's awesome. Okay, let's count them up.
It would have been barbecue if it was a chip flavor.
But also, I still count the chocolate. So why don't you count them for me?
Okay, I'm gonna discard the ones I felt were a little stressful.
No, you can keep them in.
2,
because it's not even getting it right.
3,
it's like just
4,
whatever comes to your head.
5. So. Oh, that's right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Kelsey Dara, I'm coming for you next time.
So 17 you got?
Yeah, this 16.
Oh, 16. Okay.
16. If you ever do a series reunion special.
We'll have to do like some kind of competition again where it's like take-backs or revenge or something like that. But that was still good, and we got to learn a lot about you, which is the point.
Do you have any favorite? Do you have a favorite rice?
I really love sushi rice, like sticky sushi rice.
That's nice.
Yeah, I also like brown rice. I use that a lot just to be healthy. Also, I'm from Minnesota, and we have our own authentic. It's technically rice, but it's because it's wild rice. But it's kind of more of like a weed.
Interesting.
I don't know if you had wild rice before, but it's like black and it's longer. But it's called wild rice in the wild rice soup, chicken wild rice soup. But it's very Minnesotan. So yeah, I love wild rice as well.
Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so that was fast food favorites. That was you earning the food, so now we actually get to have some food.
Oh, what a treat.
Yeah. So this next segment is called What App? So while we eat the appetizer, you're going to answer some questions from social media apps,
Absolutely.
okay? Here we go.
I love shrimp cocktail.
Yay, I do too. So when you sent that, I was like, yep, we're going to do that. So basically, a lot of people, they order shrimp cocktail at restaurants, or they will maybe get it in a convenience package at a grocery store, but it's so easy to make yourself, and that's why I try to do it. So what you do is you get the shrimp and you peel and devein them, and you just kind of poach them with water, lemon, maybe some parsley stems, salt and pepper. Kind of keep it simple, but give it a little bit of acidity. And then cocktail sauce is super simple. If you want to be bare bones, you can just do ketchup and horseradish, and that's all you actually need. But for this one, what you do is you take diced tomatoes, some onion, some garlic, you cook it down till it's kind of jammy. Then I added in some horseradish, and there's fresh parsley on top, salt, pepper, lemon juice, and a little bit of vinegar. And that's how you make cocktail sauce from scratch.
You made that from scratch?
Yeah. So, and also when we do, so if you want to learn how to make it, there's always a recipe video, so there'll be that attached to this, so you can see how to make all this food and then make it and enjoy it with us. But yeah, it's homemade, and I want to do that for you, of course.
Oh, it's amazing. That's so sweet. You're such a sweet guy. I mean, I don't think I've ever had homemade cocktail sauce.
Well, hopefully it doesn't taste way different than what you're used to.
I'm sure it's going to be
great. So why don't we each try some, and then we'll go into questions. Tell me what you think.
I'm excited.
Good?
That's so good, Matthew. Just what you need after a long day at work.
Yeah, right? I think so too. Where was the first time you ever had shrimp cocktail, and where did you fall in love with it?
You know what? So many of the dishes I remember I loved growing up, including shrimp cocktail, were just stuff that I'd eat at family gatherings. And so this is something that my parents would either serve or especially at dinner parties that they would throw.
Yeah.
You know, they love throwing dinner parties, and so we'd always get a little bit of the food. And so I think I fell in love with shrimp cocktail at one of these such gatherings where they have family and friends over. It's always a great, easy sort of like thing that everyone can sort of enjoy.
Totally. You just like walk by, get a dip, walk out.
I'll say this though, I don't think they ever made homemade cocktail sauce.
Oh, no?
I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. This is really special.
Yeah.
Just because usually it's from a bottle or something.
Exactly.
Or a tub.
So I'll pull up some questions for you, sir, and you just keep munching away on all those shrimpies.
Absolutely will.
Okay, so the first one comes from our friend Megan Boykoff, and she says, fuck, marry, kill, Bublé, Fernando, or Boba.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
I love Boba, and Fernando's one of my dearest friends. And of course, I love Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Michael Bublé is a Canadian treasure. He is an icon.
Cutie.
A cutie. That's such a sweet guy, too.
Yeah.
You know, so I could not kill Michael Bublé. That's already, you know, that's going to ruin Christmas for everyone. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know what? I'm gonna marry Michael Bublé.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? I think I'll marry Fernando.
Oh,
Fernando's
okay.
such a sweet man.
He is.
Problematic but sweet. But we're very close. I think we would enjoy a married life together. Michael Bublé, I don't know. I would feel constantly under stress trying to make sure I'm the best possible version of me for him.
Okay.
So we'll just have sex once.
Got
get
it.
done and over with. And Boba, it's heartbreaking to say because I used to love it so much, but I'll kill Boba just because I after my training regime,
Yeah.
I only have one boba a week now, so I
Yeah.
think I can live without boba.
Wow.
But I was very addicted to boba before I started training for my MMA video
Yeah.
because I drank it like almost I think once a day, which
Yeah.
is horrible. That's
A lot of
horrible.
sugar and
A lot of sugar.
a lot of carbs.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a great choice. I think I probably would do the same thing. I think with Bublé, like you don't want it to ever like get into like the area of too long. You want it to be a nice romantic night and then move on, right?
Have him sing for me in the morning, then I'll leave.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from one of your fans, and they said, "Would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet?"
Oh, it's a tough one. You know what? I'd say hands for feet, just because no one's gonna. They're less. That's not because I'll have regular hands. Now feet for hands, hands for feet down there. No one needs to really see it. I'll just wear big shoes. Would you? What would
I
you
would
do?
do the exact same thing. I think I'd rather have hands for feet because I can hide them in my shoes. And
Exactly.
then if for whatever reason I have to like get into a fight, I could probably have more dexterity with feet hands than the other way around.
That would have been good for you in the cage.
Listen, in my life, when I got bullied as a kid, I roundhouse kicked someone in the face, so I'm already halfway there.
I would not have messed with you because were you always tall?
I was always tall. I used to be way chubbier, and I got made fun of for being like gay and chubby. But I watched Power Rangers, so I was like, I will kick your ass. So it worked out. And yeah, I've always been like a linebacker, so people were always like, if they bullied me, and then they got scared because I would be like, I'll sit on you. How did you first get into Michael Bublé?
Oh, that's so strange. You know what? I've always loved Christmas. I think that's what it is. I've always loved Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I'm not even a very religious person. I'm Buddhist, so I don't celebrate it for the religious. I don't celebrate Christmas for the religious reasons.
Yeah.
But I think there's something about the holiday time that, as cliche or corny as it may sound, it brings people together. And, I feel like people are just, they're like nicer on the holidays. Even the people that hate the holidays, they're just nicer. You're kind of forced to be nicer.
Yeah. There's Christmas lights during holidays.
It just sets the tone. It's warm. It's loving.
Yeah.
And so I guess my love for Christmas obviously translates to Michael Bublé being the voice of Christmas. But I think the first time I actually ever heard Michael Bublé was when Home came out all those years ago. I thought that is a beautiful song. That is the voice of an angel.
Yeah.
And I will listen to this man until the day I die. And I hope that when the day comes, they will play his songs at my funeral.
Wait, funeral? Why don't you start with wedding first? Let's
yeah, sure. Let's go wedding.
Positive.
Yeah, with the wedding.
Okay, great. And then funeral.
When that day comes, make sure they play Bublé. Okay.
Okay, I will make sure. It'll be in the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now a lot of you guys are very horny for Aria. But I'm gonna keep it more PG and just say,
thank the Lord.
I'll just keep it PG and be like, what are you looking for in a partner? Like, what's someone that's good for you?
Are we talking about partner like a one night stand?
Let's do both.
Is it both? Or,
yeah, this is that kind of show. Like, let's start off with one night stand. Like, what do you need in a person to have a fun one night stand? What's physically not?
Ideally they're just not. Physically, I don't really mind too much. It's more like I try not to have any.
Okay.
But if it is gonna be that way, let's just both know it for what it is, and let's just let's not linger in them, either of us.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I've been guilty of that. So you know what? I think it's best that we just know this is gonna be a beautiful night, a beautiful cherished memory, and go our separate ways.
Yes.
Let's not sour things in the morning with a long conversation about the weather that you kind of awkwardly have. We don't need to
Unless you're Michael Bublé singing to him in the morning,
yes.
you have to leave.
Yes, Michael Bublé can stay for breakfast. Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, but then how about a partner
An actual
that you want
partner,
to marry?
yeah. It's romance has always been something very dear to me. I think I love romantic comedies, favorite genre of movie, and so I guess for me, in a long-term partner, and I haven't been in a long-term relationship for a couple of years now, but if I'm looking for someone long-term, I will say, to my own detriment, I'm quite picky, and I think it's because of these reasons that I'm looking for someone like this, because I feel like I need someone with a sense of humor.
For sure.
And also someone that understands sarcasm, because I'm a very sarcastic person.
Oh, yeah.
So if they don't understand sarcasm, it goes out the window. I found myself attracted to people that don't understand sarcasm. I'm like, I'm just gonna give them a chance.
Yeah.
And
doesn't work out.
It just doesn't, it just doesn't click. Because, eventually, the sense of humor is what's going to hopefully sustain a relationship in the long term. Because even if you end up hating each other down the line, hopefully at least you can make each other laugh.
That's the most important thing is if you click and if you can make each other have fun.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Self-awareness is very important to me. I think that goes kind of hand in hand with a sense of humor, because I think people with a sense of self-awareness can be more sarcastic.
Yeah.
And I think just in general, because then, I think people that are more self-aware are more polite, which is another thing I look for. I don't like rude people in general in everyday life. I mean, who does? But particularly, I do notice that someone's not the nicest to people. So that's a big thing for me too. And again, that once again goes hand in hand with someone being self-aware of the way they act around people. And someone with ambition that is passionate about whatever it is they do, and that they're going for it. Because obviously, I think when you have, I like someone that just goes for things. I don't like people that play it safe.
Yeah.
I think life is to be lived. And so if it's someone that's even if their dream is crazy and whatever field they're in, if they want to build a house on the moon, if they're working towards it, I love that, and so that's what's important. Someone with ambition, someone that's smart, driven. I mean, these are all, these are all words with a lot of positive connotations. And this sounds like a perfect person, right? But you know what? I guess those are the things that I look for, and that's probably why things don't work out for me, in the sense that I'm notoriously picky because I can't find that.
No, it'll happen. Shut up. You have many suitors, and just know that you keep being you, and then the correct person will come along eventually.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so our friend Jack asked this question, and he said, ask him who his best friend is.
Oh, that's a good one, because Jack knows it. Jack is one of my closest friends, and he's doing this because he knows he wants to make this tricky for me, because I have numerous close friends, and I will say that my closest friend is my brother. My best friend is my brother.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's smart. You can't top family, Jack.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my brother. So yeah, I think that
he goes. It better be me.
Yeah. Ooh, when that answer came into my head, I was like, oh, perfect. I saved myself there.
Yeah.
But it's true though. My brother, obviously, we were very close. We lived together.
Yeah.
But I am very lucky to have people like Jack in my life, and other people like Fernando in my life, and so it's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good company. Oh, okay. So one thing that I'm curious for you is, and I'm sure people watching will be interested in, is what's your kind of formula or thinking or angle when it comes to making a video go viral? Because you've had a lot of great experience with that, and obviously at BuzzFeed it's kind of what we're trained to do. But I'm curious about what your take on what makes a video go viral, or what makes a video go viral.
It's fascinating because you're right. I've had several videos go viral. Mm-hmm. But then some of the videos I'm most passionate about, or the ones I'm most excited about, they don't do well at all. And it's a very interesting mixed bag. It's in a perfect world, we have this happy medium where you're making things you're really passionate about, that you're really excited about, and that they also go viral. So it's what can we make for viewers en masse that they'll enjoy, that we're also proud of. And so I guess it's like I have no real formula. For me,
Yeah.
honestly, what drives me with the content I make is I want to make something that I think I would enjoy watching.
Right.
And that way, no matter how it does, I think, well, at least it's something I'm proud of. And so it's kind of always a shot in the dark for me.
Yeah.
It really is. Like the MMA video, for example, I did this video, as you mentioned, where I trained MMA for 4 months and then fought in a cage.
Yeah.
And that was it was a risk because, you know, I trained for 4 months. I edit this long video, and in my past experience, I've done long videos that just flop.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I'm dedicating this much time, I'm praying it does well.
Right.
And thankfully it has. But in the past, like I said, I've done big projects I'm super proud of that have taken a lot out of me, and they just don't do that well. But at the same time, the end product is something I'm so proud of that it doesn't matter so much. And I think finding that place in yourself creatively where you're able to be happy with the product despite it not meeting certain metrics within the BuzzFeed verse or the internet verse is something you kind of want to find. That way you can find happiness in whatever you're making. Because at the same time, you know, you realize that specifically at BuzzFeed, a flop at BuzzFeed is still something that usually reaches like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So that's still great. But when it comes to creating something that's viral or hoping to create something that's viral, you know, I think it's just a matter about creating something that you hope people will relate to, that people can share. It's about creating something that really just, I want to create stuff that no one really has seen on the internet before.
Yeah.
Like that's stuff when I make stuff I'm passionate about, it's like what hasn't been done that will make people want to say, oh, that's interesting, I'll click and watch that.
Yeah.
And it's a constant evolving process because you never know what will work, because if we did, then we just keep churning them out.
Yeah.
And so for me, my process is A, what would I enjoy seeing? B, what would I be proud of? And C, how can I make that marketable to people? I guess that's the formula.
Yeah, that's good. And like one thing that I think I've learned over the last few years is like, you know, everyone's always searching for like the one thing that'll work, or companies are like, you know, make me a viral video, and it's like it's not just like a simple thing. And I've found that once you do start making some, you realize that they don't really have a huge value inherently just because they're viral. Like, yeah, they might make the company work for money, or they may get a lot of eyes on them, but it really is those videos that you put your heart and soul into that really follow you for your whole life. So like, I think what we learn as like, whether it be BuzzFeed or post-BuzzFeed or anyone who works in media is like, as long as you're creating something that you care about, it has value enough for you, and that's like what's the most important. That's
so true. Value is the word. That's the perfect way to describe it, because there's value that the audience hopefully sees too when they see how much work you put into it.
It's better to relate deeply with 10 people than to like have 1 million people watch something and not ever really connect, right? Like, what's the point of that then?
Couldn't have put it better myself. Yep, so true.
Okay, so I have one last question for you, and then we'll move on to dinner.
Oh, right, another strip?
Yes. Okay, so during the MMA video, like a lot of like the sentiments that I thought were really fascinating, because I really related to that portion, was like everyone thinking you couldn't do it because you're such a sweet guy, and I get told I'm a sweet guy all the time too.
You are a sweet guy.
Thank you, which I appreciate. I think you appreciate it as well. But sometimes people do either push, like you're like a pushover, or like they think that they can walk all over you, or they think that you can't do things, or that you're always that way. So I'm curious of like, when people say a sweet guy, like what's your thought about that, and what are your thoughts on all that and that term of being a sweet guy?
Absolutely, I think it's a very interesting conversation to be had, because it's so true that we see a word like, you want to be called a sweet guy, or you want to be called a nice guy. It is a nice thing. It's a great sentiment. And when you get called it at face value, and when I am called it, I love it. Of course, I don't want to be seen as a dick. I don't want to be seen as none of us do.
Yeah.
But it is like, there's so many layers behind it, right? It's because like, while it's a word that you think has positive connotations, there are just so many layers behind any word, really, right? Because someone can be a nice guy, but then it's like the idea that they're nice, but that means they're a pushover, or they're soft, or they're weak, or they're, you know, they won't stand up for themselves. And then you think of a word like, if someone's an asshole, you know, that's a word with negative connotations, but then layers behind that. Some people find assholes attractive, right? Or they find assholes as, oh, at least, you know, they're confident.
They're powerful.
So there's so many layers behind it. So it really is interesting, because so I think at face value, when I'm called that, I think when you're at face value, whenever you're called that, that's a good thing. I think we should never see a positive word as a bad thing. But I think it's I won't say it's up to you as the person to prove them wrong, because ultimately with the MMA video, I didn't want to prove anyone really wrong in the end. I just want to prove to myself that I could do it. And I think that's what it is. We should always accept who we are, and we should be proud of whatever positive labels people give us. but also know at the same time that we really are more than those labels. And I think by believing that yourself, hopefully that can then ripple and emanate to others. Because it's about having confidence in who you are as a person, and you shouldn't shape. It's been said before, but you really shouldn't shape who you are for others. And it's again the same sort of thing, because some person may see yourself as, they may call you nice,
right,
and you may believe that, and you probably are stronger than what they may see just by that label. But you can only prove those people wrong to an extent. They may never see you as strong. They may never see you as, like, after the fight, for example. So I did the MMA video. I fought in a cage. And so, of course, there's the underlying arc of, okay, he's a nice guy trying to fight in a cage. Does that then mean he's strong? Does that then mean he's confident? Right. But some people may never see me that way, or some people may never see you in that way. So by getting caught up in what other people see you as, it's kind of a battle you never know if you're going to win or not. So there's no point even worrying about it. So I say, when you're called positive things, take it for what it is, embrace it. And I think it's just a matter of knowing and being confident in who you are and what you are capable of.
That's good. That's some good advice. And I also just think, like, I think one of the goals of our lives should be also to kind of like just prove that we are complex human beings that are multifaceted and aren't just one thing. So in that video, you just learn that you are a sweet guy, but you're also just so much more, which is what?
As we all are. Like you said, we all are such complex people. And it's just, sometimes we're put into these boxes. And the things we're put in boxes by people that are just as equally complex. So it's fascinating.
And our friends who like love us, but like sometimes even your friends put you in boxes. Yeah.
Unintentionally so, or just the nature of humans, I think. It's really fascinating.
Yeah. Okay, so keep eating some shrimp, and then I'm gonna warm up your dinner, and because the next segment is called Dream Dish. So while I'm dishing food for you, you have to dish for us either a secret that you have not told anyone before, or you have to reveal something to us and dish on like a subject you love or that the world should know more about.
Copy. All right, we'll do.
Great.
Take on that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that smell good? Smells amazing.
Good.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I have not had this in a very long time, so I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Matthew. Love the smell.
So right in front of us, we have spaghetti alle vongole?
Yeah, vongole. Yeah.
Vongole.
Yes, I think it means clams. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure because it's basically just spaghetti and clams, so I'm hoping it's that.
Yeah.
But where did you first have it? And like, tell me any kind of stories behind it.
I think I would say my dad's dish that he loves to cook for guests is not vongole. He loves to cook, what's that called? Couscous. But if there was something else he'd love to cook for special occasions for us, it would be this. And so I grew up eating this a lot. Often, not a lot, I would say on special occasions. Like I think he'd make it on my birthday, stuff like that. And then of course, many years later, when I think I was like 12, we went to Italy, and I would just eat this all the time there. Like we go to different we went to different restaurants in Italy, but I just kept having more and more vongole. I think there's just something about it. I think it's also so simple.
Yeah.
You know, and even I haven't made it in a while, but I have made it. So I remember like with my last long-term relationship, I would make that for her. And I don't think I made it since, just because I haven't had a drive to make it. But here it is. That's why I'm very excited to have it. It's just.
Do you like that? Like, do you like the kind of the brininess from the clams, or like what about it is like really great for you?
It's weird. I don't usually like wine, but I love the wine. The hints of wine in combination with, like you said, that brininess from the clams. It just coats the pasta so well, and it's just.
Do you put extra cheese on top for you, or do you not put any cheese?
I don't put any cheese on it. What I do is I put some pepper flakes, as you have there.
Yes.
I do like it with a lot of pepper flakes, and that's basically it. And you know, it's a dish that just reminds me of growing up.
Gotcha.
You know? That's what the beauty of it is.
Perfect. Do you have like your secret that you thought of?
Yes, it's not really so it's a mixture of the two. It's kind of a secret that. I'm trying to find the best way to word it, because it's something that I'm very passionate about, but something that I don't really speak about.
Got it. Well, as long as it's dishing,
I'm dishing.
We're great.
So basically, when I was younger, you know, I wanted to be an actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actor,
Nice.
and so it was. I wanted to be an actor, and that's kind of. But then I kind of like changed my I guess my field into wanting to direct. I enjoy that too, the storytelling side of things. And so over time, like I said, I've always wanted to be in this business. There's nothing else I ever wanted to do except be in entertainment. But for a long time, I drifted away from acting. But I did start back when I was in college. I did a I went to community college at first, and I did a theater degree there.
Nice.
But I just kept drifting away from acting. And I guess if there's something I wanted to dish is that I think in recent times that passion has come back. And there's a part of me that wants to tackle that as a challenge, you know?
Why not? This is the place to do it. You're at a good location to try it out at BuzzFeed, I think. You have the looks for it.
Oh, okay, Matthew. You really seem so sweet. That is a liar, but sweet.
Liar? You have like at least 100 people who are like sending me dirty things about you. So you've got the looks for sure, my friend.
For those 100, sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, but yeah, you know, yeah. So I think I'm dishing in the sense that because I don't think I've really spoken openly about it for a long time that I want to try it again. And I think it's one of those things where I'm like, you know what, it's one of those things where it takes me a little bit out of my comfort zone. Because I think a part of me that was afraid to try and tackle it was you're surrounded by such talented people here in LA.
Yeah.
For one,
Yeah.
and B, obviously as a minority, it's not easy out there.
Yeah.
And so for a lot, I think I leaned into the directing, producing side of things, not just because I wanted to step away from acting, because I certainly do love directing, storytelling, and writing. But I think a part of that was also like, I'm just going to lean into this side of my talents because I'm not sure if I can succeed in this realm. But at this point in my life, I'm thinking, you know what? I've experienced so much that I can't let fear or doubt kind of prevent me from pursuing something. And even if I fail, I guess that's kind of the whole mantra I had with the fight video or anything like that is, you know, you can't let fear or doubt stop you from tackling the things you want to do. And so, this is the first time I've openly said it in a long time, but I'd love to make a foray back into actual scripted acting.
Yeah.
A friend of mine recently did a short film where he was nice enough to cast me, Patrick Ward, who worked at BuzzFeed as well. And so, you know, that was like a fun way to get back into it. I enjoy comedy acting a lot. And I think in many ways, a lot of the videos I've done at BuzzFeed where I'm on camera, to an extent, I am playing a bit of a character, you know, and so it's not like a distant like thing that I haven't touched in a while, but it's something it's been cooking up in my mind, and I'd love to just see what I can accomplish in that field. And so, I am passionate about it because I think entertainment and film in general, or acting, storytelling is such, entertainment is just such a, especially in times like these where things are, we're in harrowing times.
Yeah.
We all need a little break from things. And so as storytellers, yourself included, with DinnerViews as creators, we have an opportunity to give people an escape. Yeah. And so it is foolish, maybe not foolish, but
it's not foolish at all.
No, I was going to say it's a shame, it's a waste if we don't. It's foolish if we don't.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It is foolish,
And then also, this show is all about saying your dreams, saying your goals, and manifesting it so it happens, put it out in the universe. So I'm glad you revealed that, because now I know, since it's out there, it's going to happen.
Yeah. When the Academy Award comes, we'll say it started right here.
It was right here over clams. But yes, let's try it.
Oh, look at that. It looks perfect. And you know what? I missed pasta so much during my MMA video. I had red lentil penne, which isn't bad. I actually enjoyed it, but just to have a classic bit of pasta.
Is it good?
It's perfect, Matthew. Thank you so much. Wow.
Yeah.
Olive oil. The olive oil, too, is what makes it for me.
Yes. A little bit of some fatty goodness to coat all the noodles is important.
Dude, Hallie's just knew what they're doing,
Yeah.
They really do.
Lots of carbs, lots of fat. That's all you need.
The best thing about this is that, despite this being my dream dinner, it's also actually fairly healthy for the most part. There's nothing horrible about it.
No. I was gonna say, so how you make spaghetti alle vongole is you basically start off with I'd say about 1/4 cup of olive oil, so kind of a good amount of olive oil. Heat it up with some shaved garlic and some red chili flakes, maybe a little bit of salt. You cook those until they're a little bit brown, so they're really aromatic, and you're smelling both the chilies and the garlic. Then you add in about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of white wine, some good white wine, and you're gonna kind of let that reduce a bit. And as Aria said, the white wine is really important, and so you want to make sure you are doing that correctly. Then you add in your clams. And you put a lid on it and let it cook in the chili, garlic, wine, aromatics until they pop open. And then hopefully earlier you already cooked some pasta. You add in the cooked pasta and you just kind of toss it all together with a little bit extra of the pasta liquid. And then since there's starch in that pasta liquid, it kind of coats all the noodles and all that sauce kind of comes together, and you have a creamy sauce without having to add any cheese. I did see online some people add cheese on top, some people don't. It's a personal preference of some people, so I have it here as an option, but I agree. I think it's more traditional not to have it. So, but that's how you make it.
This is perfection, honestly, truly to me. Is this your first time having vongole?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had pasta dishes that are similar to it, like in style, but I've never had like the actual clams. So with spaghetti, but it's delicious.
Well, kudos to the chef.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I guess I just like gave myself a compliment.
But well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. I'm just letting you talk so I can keep eating. Honestly, I'm not
No,
gonna
good. And here, and I'm gonna give you some more because you already worked your way through.
I won't say no. Yeah, when I was doing the MMA video, I was on a very strict diet.
Yeah.
And honestly, for the first month, they had me. First month and a half, my calories were 1,900 maximum, which is like I think that's the
below the standard.
The standard. I think usually minimum for men is like 2,000. So I was like eating under what I should be eating, and I was training twice a day. So I was hungry and cranky all the time.
Oh.
So now whenever I can eat, I'll eat, and I just love pasta so much. And pasta, I think it was like the first real meal I had the day after the fight. It was just like garlic pasta, and that was great. It was everything I needed. This is everything I needed right now, honestly. And this is perfect because I was editing the video so much last week, so this is a real treat. So thank you so much, honestly. Wow.
It's my pleasure. Okay, so while we're eating, continuing to kind of go through the dinner, let's continue with the deeper dinner view. So, obviously, you're really focused on this like current video you did, but you've also made so many amazing ones before. So, besides the MMA video, do you have like a favorite video you've done that like kind of sticks out for you that you're really proud of?
I've been lucky enough at BuzzFeed that I've had managers that have supported me in doing some pretty big passion projects.
Yeah.
And so obviously, yes, the MMA one was a big one, and it's probably my biggest so far. But I mean, in the past, I've done things ranging from just like really fun stuff that I've been personally very proud of. Like I wrote a love song with Michael Bublé, and that was it's still a surreal experience to know that I sat with that man, wrote a song with him, and then the thing is with that video, I don't know if you know this, but we wrote a song together, Michael Bublé, in 15 minutes. And he was so into it, and I said, I'm gonna go perform. I told him I'm gonna go perform this for the end. At the end of the video, I was gonna go face my fear of performing in public because I'm not a singer. I don't want to be a singer. Yeah. But I felt like, you know what? For this video, I'm gonna sing at an open mic night and just face that fear because I'm all about tackling your fears. So just do it. And I told him about that. He said, oh, okay, great. Well, I'm going to go to my rehearsal tonight with my band. And I'll have my pianist come up with an accompaniment, and I'll send it to you if you want. And so he just gave me his number. Yeah, and he said, I'm gonna text you tomorrow with something, and I didn't expect to hear anything. The next day, I get a text, Michael Bublé. Oh, he sends me an audio file of him singing the song with a piano accompaniment. And it was just, and I was like, okay, this is very surreal. So just as an overall experience, that was just I'm very proud of the final video. I just, the experience itself was just so memorable that I'll cherish that for the rest of my life. Yeah. But just in terms of also something I'm also very proud of is I did another video on a different scope that I'm just proud of in terms of quality is a video I did last fall where it's similar to the MMA video in the sense that it was like a long challenge. Yeah. And it was more serious in tone because my other stuff usually takes more humor in tone. But for this one, what I did was there's a whole community of IRL streamers, in real life streamers, where they stream their lives on camera. They show what they're doing, they're eating, blah, blah, blah. People just watch and they pay to watch these people eat. They donate money to watch these people eat, go about their everyday lives. It's like computer streaming, but instead of that, of being in front of a game, they're just out and about on the streets. So I wanted to investigate this culture. So what I did was, for 7 days nonstop, I streamed my life. I had a camera on me while I was sleeping. I think
I saw this one. Holy I have to.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
It is actually something I'm very proud of. It's 22 minutes long, so again, it's a long video. But it was just 7 days nonstop of me, like struggling through it, and like I met with. That one was a roller coaster because like at first I thought it was just gonna be like kind of interesting to see me have a camera on me while I'm going to the bathroom, or just the camera wasn't with me while I was in the bathroom, but like it was running. Yeah. Just everyday life, and it was just. But then the journey became something so much more unexpected for me because basically the IRL streaming community it's rooted in a side of the internet that has a lot more internet trolls, and so suddenly I had viewers from a community that is more trollish in nature. So there's a lot of like this very interesting. It was a very interesting kind of like this kind of like juxtaposition where like here you have BuzzFeed, who are obviously very much about positivity, and it's a very we're a left wing outlet, but then suddenly have these trolls, and they would see me streaming at BuzzFeed, and so people, when you watch the video, you'll see like people like Julissa and Gadiolo, they love you but very much.
Oh, were they bad to them?
Oh, they were bad.
No.
They were like, there was a day, you'll see it if you watch the video.
I'm gonna watch it now.
There's a day where I think it was Thursday of the week. I did 7 days nonstop, and Thursday that day I had to go to a meeting, so I had a little backpack. A company named LiveView were very nice to give enough to give me a backpack with the camera, and so I gave the camera to them to say I'm gonna go to the meeting. I couldn't bring the camera into the meeting because it was like, I think it was a manager check-in or something, so they wanted to keep it hush hush. And so I gave it to Gadiel and Julissa, and the thing is, like, I had been able, up until that point, I knew they were trolling, so I could handle it to the extent, like, I knew how to kind of like handle them. But then when Gadiel and Julissa had it, the trolls just went in, and they were just saying very racist, homophobic stuff, and the camera went around. They were trying to like pass the bag around BuzzFeed because they didn't really want to handle it, so then more people like were getting trashed, and it was you'll see it in the video, and so it was such a journey of highs and lows, but at the same time, like it was just so fascinating to be a part of, to be integrated into this culture, where at the same time, like despite the lows, there were trolls, but there were also so many people in this community that you actually build bonds with, and so like a lot of the viewers also weren't just from the trolling community. A lot of them were from they were from BuzzFeed viewers and stuff like that, and just be able to build a connection with your viewers that, you wake up and they're checking in on you, you're talking to them. By the end of it, when I knew my stream was coming to an end, I was actually sad. It was such a strange experience. Like, I didn't expect to have such a journey.
Because you connected so deeply with
exactly.
people.
I was like, I don't want to say goodbye in a way. And you'll see it all in the video, but yeah, it was such a strange experience, and I think it made for a very interesting, it basically is another short documentary, much like the MMA one. It was 7 days as opposed to 4 months, but it was, in many ways, it was 7 days nonstop that felt, if you had condensed or bottled how draining that experience was, it was probably equally as draining as the 4 months of training, if not more so. Because
it's just because you're just never ending,
exactly.
constantly being watched,
and when you're on camera, if I'm not sleeping, like I feel like I have to talk to them because they're watching, and you feel like you just have to engage with them the entire time. So I just did not stop talking for 7 days. It was exhausting, and because I met with many streamers during the week as part of my research, and I remember one streamer said, he gets at that time he was getting like 8,000, 9,000 people watching him, and he said that for every minute where he wasn't engaging with them, he felt this pressure that he was wasting 9,000 minutes. And so it was a strange experience. So anyways, that's a long way of answering your question. That's one product I'm very proud of, in the sense that I think it's a very good deep dive into another culture, because I do love diving into cultures, and that's definitely a very unique culture. Especially, I found the juxtaposition between just the nature of BuzzFeed versus the nature of this corner of the internet coming together. It was very strange and harrowing, because it was rough. Yeah.
Wait, so if people haven't seen it, what's the full name of the video so they can go search for it? After your bite.
Delicious.
No rush. You can chew.
It's a very dramatic title. It is "How Streaming My Week for a Life Almost Destroyed Me," or something like that. And I'm very dramatic in the thumbnail. It's a screenshot of me during the experience. I just look like I'm about to die.
Got it. Okay, guys. Well, watch that. I know I'm going to after this. We've been it'll be fun. I that's what I would hope is one of your favorite ones, because I know you are just a really passionate guy that makes great content, so that's
appreciate exciting.
That. Yeah. Okay, so as you said, you've traveled a lot in your childhood, and then you came here to LA to work here at BuzzFeed. So you've just done a lot of crazy, interesting experiences. What would you say is one of the more from all these experiences? What's one of the biggest lessons you've learned in your life? Do you have anything like that?
I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is truly through all my experiences, and I give a lot of credit to the experiences I've had at BuzzFeed for this particularly. Yeah. Is that we really, regardless of how we feel about what happens after death, you could go to heaven, you could be reborn, you could just be warm food, whatever it is, in this lifetime, we have a finite amount of time. Wow. Either before we're reborn, or again, we ascend, or we go down there. Yeah. Whatever it is, finite amount of time. And so I've learned, especially over the past year and a half, that every little moment is something. Every little moment is every experience is worth having, and I think we should never allow the fear of failure to stop us from doing so. And so that's why I tackle everything I do with such. I'm trying to say this in a way. I tackle everything I do with such foolhardy kind of drive, because you know what, I'm gonna throw myself into it, because then even if it fails, and whatever it is, this could be anything in life. This could be a project, this could be a career pursuit, like a job you want to have, or relationship, someone you're interested in, guy, girl, you know, you throw yourself into it, because then at least, even if it doesn't work out 10, 20 years from now, you won't look back and say that, I wish I had done that. Regret is, and we can all attest to this, regret is one of the worst feelings in the world. That regret of thinking, you know, what if? Like, what if I had just tried for this job I had? Or like the MMA video, if 10 years from now, my body probably wouldn't, my body or time, maybe I have a family, maybe I'm not in the right place to be able to train for a fight like that. And I think, God, I wish I had trained for this fight 10 years ago. Or relationship, God, I wish I'd gone after this guy or this girl, just tried it. Even if they rejected me, at least I tried it. So I think through the projects I've been able to do, I'm just so grateful to have had these experiences, and I'm glad that I just decided to go for them, and that sort of like is what has shaped my takeaway in life, which is currently at this point, I'm just like, I just say hell yeah to whatever comes, whatever I want to do, and I go for it. And I think that's why I look back on a lot of the memories I had growing up, is I'm glad that my parents pushed me to do a lot of things that I did, such as travel. Because when I was little and we would travel, I was the kid that would like sit on his Game Boy, and you know, I just want to, and I would just like, all right, what's the Wi-Fi code for the hotel room? And I regret that. I really do. You know, like so many of the places we went to, like we have pictures of me there, but I didn't really experience it for what it was. And so like, you know, I kind of want to go back to places I'd already been, which is kind of a waste because I was there already instead of discovering somewhere new. But in many ways, I didn't really get to discover it in the first place. And so that, knowing that regret, you know, is what drives me to make sure I don't feel that same regret in the things I do now. And I think, so I guess I didn't really, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. And because I feel like for someone like me, I'm someone that when it comes to work stuff, I'm very much like, yes, I'll try anything, I'll like do anything, which that's bitten me in the butt and also been really great for things. But I'm not someone that kind of takes bigger life experiences more. And I like, so hearing you say that just kind of reminds me of like, wow, like I'm excited to kind of focus on that more, like, because now that I don't have a full-time job and I've saved up a lot of money and I have like time in my life to really experience and try new things and try new experiences and meet new people and travel, and I haven't really put focus into that in my life. So like kind of hearing you say that like just kind of gives me the inspiration and like kind of like the permission to be like, yeah, I'm on the right path. Like I'm like, I want to do more experiences. Okay, so from all these experiences though, like obviously I find really interesting when people have like royally fucked up something or messed up, because that's when you can learn from your mistakes, right? Like, is there any moment in your life that you just like royally fucked something up that you've hopefully learned something from?
I got choked out in the cage.
Oh, right, yes.
No, yes. That's a joke. No, but yeah, I mean, failure is honestly one of the best ways to learn. It really is. You know, I'm gonna quote someone from a recent video of mine where he said, failure is the best way to learn something. Because we just don't gain strength or courage without adversity. I think he's something along those lines. And so I mean, I failed in so much, you know, and you know, I'm proud to own those failures. You know, it could be failure in anything. It could be failure in a romantic pursuit, failure in a professional pursuit, or in work. I mean, like, I mean, there have been people like romantically that I invest time into. I invest time into the potential of the relationship, and it just doesn't work out. That's what it is, right? But the thing is, when I look back at failed relationships, the ones I feel less of a sting about, I guess, or less regret about, are the ones where I know I tried everything I could to make it work.
Exactly.
And that's the takeaway that, again, it just drives me now. It's just like, you just give everything you have to something, and even if it fails, you're like, I did the best I could. And I actually attribute that ideology to my brother, and because he's always been like, when it comes to jobs or anything like that, you just give it your all, because then if things just don't work out, you know you did your best, and so it just wasn't meant to be. And so just having that in personal relationships where, and it is multiple, you know, I've dated multiple women and it doesn't work out. And so, and the ones that don't work out, where I've put everything into it, or put a lot of effort into it, I actually don't regret those the most, because I know I did everything I could. Didn't work out. Great, we move on.
You're not each other's person.
Exactly, and you move on. You know that you tried your best. And so that's a failure, but you learn from that failure. And I think it took many failures in potential relationships to get me to that point where I knew that any ones that were to come, I would just give it everything I had.
Yeah, and then you learn from those. Like you learn like what doesn't work for you and what works, like what maybe you're not perfect at in a relationship. Absolutely. And how you can be better for a new person.
Yes, earlier tonight we talked about how, for example, sarcasm is a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
I've invested time with people who don't understand sarcasm. I have since learned,
you need it.
Let's look for someone that understands sarcasm.
Let's just like skip over the awkward bit. Like
exactly.
You have to have it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now I know. Now I know what I need. Self-awareness.
Yeah.
I once, I've dated some very opinionated people that I think the term bigot would not be
too far off.
Ooh, so I learned from that.
Gotcha.
You learn from these things, but. So yeah, I guess those are a personal one. And then professionally, I mean, God, there's just so many projects. I can't even name one. I mean, I've tried things at BuzzFeed, outside of BuzzFeed from before, where I'm like, I have this great idea for a video. I mean, BuzzFeed, I talk about BuzzFeed right now. I mean, for example, the streaming video we just talked about, invested 7 days nonstop, drained me. And when you watch the video, you'll see also that it's such a harrowing video to me because it impacted my personal relationships too. My friends, during the process, they didn't like the camera being around because, again, they were targeted by some of these trolls.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, in the edit, they came across, and partially due to my edit, they look like they're kind of being mean to me because they're, telling me to turn the camera away and stuff like that. And so, obviously, there were ramifications to my personal life. Not long-term ones, but people were probably they were miffed by, the way the experience was for them, and we joke about it now, about how let's not stream again, and by the entire experience. So, anyways, my point is that was that process was so draining. The edit itself, we had 7 days of footage, so I was editing 127 hours. I don't even know what it was.
Fuck.
I went through everything. I went through everything because I didn't want to miss any sound bites. But my point is, I spent so long on that, so many sleepless nights, and the video didn't do well.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, right? That's a failure.
Yeah.
But you learn from it, and the thing is, I don't regret making it because it's something I'm very proud of.
Well, because one thing is and I think probably since you made this a few months ago, or the streaming video a few months ago, it probably informed a lot of how you can make the MMA video, and it's filming much more streamlined. I bet. Yeah.
You learn so much from it. I'm like, okay, don't overshoot. No, but it's so true. Again, I am such a proponent for embracing your failures and learning from them. And I think a lot of us are, maybe even subconsciously. Like when something fails, we learn not to let that happen again. But sometimes we don't consciously recognize that it's something we're doing. Yeah. And I think consciously being like, okay, this failed and this didn't work for this reason, but I'm going to take it as a positive and go from there is one of the best things that any of us can do.
Exactly.
And that, again, anything, personal life, professional life, failures are part of life. You win, you lose.
It's all about what's next and how you can do better next time.
Exactly. It's how you rise from the failure.
Exactly. Okay, so then going forward in your life, like from all these mistakes or all these lessons you've learned, what's like Aria's kind of hope for the future? Like some people hate this question, some people love it, but like do you have any kind of like 5, 10, 20-year plan, or like what are you hoping for in the future?
I don't have a concrete plan, but I know a rough gist.
Good, love that.
Okay, so obviously, if we're talking 20 years from now, I am hoping to find someone that I'm with at that time. In 20 years,
who's sarcastic?
Who's sarcastic and not a bigot.
That'd be great.
That would be ideal. But maybe in 20 years, I'm like, well, I'll take
whatever,
it.
Whatever.
No, I just won't listen to you. But no, so that's on the personal front. In 20 years, that'd be great. I don't plan on getting married at least until I'm 35. I feel like there's so much I want to accomplish professionally first. That I feel like marrying someone may just take away from what I'm able to accomplish. So I probably won't plan on having kids till then either. But 20 years from now, certainly, hopefully married, hopefully with kids. But in the near future, though, I mean, like I've been grateful to have the opportunity to have made products I'm very proud of, and I hope to continue growing creatively and being able to tackle on even bigger projects. And I would love to make a jump into traditional film and TV. I'd love to just continue telling stories. That's what it is for me. I love storytelling.
Yeah.
And if I can find a way to continue just telling fresh, unique stories in a way that really resonates with people, be it comedically or emotionally, and doing so for a wider audience, the bigger, as it gets bigger and bigger, you know, it's a stepping stone, right? So as long as I continue to grow, that's what I want to do. Cool. And so in like 5 years from now, I'd love to make a movie. You know, I'd love to do something on TV. You know, even if I'm doing something digitally on the internet, I want to still just make stuff I'm proud of. And I think I've been lucky that for me, it feels like with the MMA video, you know, like that's something like I feel like I'm not stagnating. Yes. And I want to just keep that momentum going.
Yeah, you're like every kind of new project you're doing is like bigger, better, more complex, and that's like aiding in your development.
Exactly, and that's what I hope to do. So I guess that is my plan. But yeah, I mean, I guess the general way of just answering your question is, I just love to continue telling stories in whatever scope I can. The bigger, the better. Well, guys, I doubt there will be no stopping Aria. He's gonna keep making these stuff, and I just can't wait to see what movies you do, and hopefully more acting in the future. Like that'll definitely be something we'll look out for. At least if I'm directing, I'll just cast myself.
There you go. See, that's the way to do it, man. If people don't see you as someone that can be a star, you make yourself a star.
If they don't see me as Abraham Lincoln, I'll make myself Abraham Lincoln.
There we go. So. Beard and everything, top hat.
They'll deal with it, you know?
Yes.
I'll get a lot of hate mail, but hey, it's my movie.
Yes, exactly.
No one's recasting me.
Okay, so the next thing, we are kind of going towards the end of the Dinnerview, but one thing I always love to do with my guests is, this is the Dinnerview's guest book, right?
Yes.
There's like schmutz all over it, but people, they sign their name, I put how they did for the game, and then they ask a question to the next guest. So the last guest was Crystal Hatch, and she wrote a question for you, and then when we're done, isn't Crystal great?
She's amazing.
Her interview was amazing, because she has like such a inspiring childhood story that like I didn't even know until like recently, and I was
I'm
like,
excited to hear it.
Yeah, it's great. But after we're done, we'll have you write a question too, and your question will be for Cullen. Yeah,
perfect.
But what Crystal asked you, and she said I had to like say it in a certain way. So here we go. She goes, Aria, my king, my desk neighbor, you are such an inspiration. What I would like to know is, what drives you in life, in career, in love? What drives you? Love, Crystal.
Great message. Thank you, Crystal. I've only gotten to know Crystal fairly well recently, but she's fantastic, and I definitely love having her as a desk mate too. What drives me, you know, in life, in career, it's just I want to have experiences I can look back on when I'm laying in my deathbed. I can look back on experiences and memories with people, with places, with stories that I can look back on and just know I did everything I could. You know, I don't want to be laying there thinking, God, I wish I had. Again, we've been covering this a lot tonight, but it's about regret. Regret is what drives me. Regret is what, the fear of regret is what drives me. You know,
so just live in the moment, live in
the moment, make the most out of every moment. And so that's what drives me in professional pursuits and romantic pursuits, personal pursuits. It's that image in my head. And it's not one that really crosses my mind often, but thinking, like many, many, many years from now, hopefully, and when I'm incapable of wiping my own butt, you know, I'm thinking, well, I can't wipe my own butt, but hell, I had one great life.
What a way to look at it. I love that.
You know, so I guess that's what drives me.
Okay, just live your life so that you have no regrets.
The fear of regret is what drives me, I guess, is the simple answer.
Got it. I have a final question, but before we do that, I want to bring out the dessert, okay?
Ugh.
If a younger Aria was sitting here, let's say like a 7-year-old Aria, right? What would you think of the food that we served tonight? Or what would he think of it? All like the appetizer, dinner, and now the dessert. And then what would you say to your younger 7-year-old Aria self?
Okay. I would, first of all, my 7-year-old self would love this.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to grow up with parents that just loved to cook. That loved food, that loved taking my brother and I to places where we could appreciate food like this. So
love that.
Growing up, I got to experience dishes like spaghetti alle vongole, shrimp cocktail, which, you know, maybe most 7-year-olds don't really eat shrimp cocktail. But so I know that as 7-year-olds, I would have loved this. I would have devoured this. And this, even now as 28 years, oh my God.
And then we have right here, we have some Nutella homemade crepes.
Oh, wow.
Here, let's see. Ta-da. And so I think they're pretty stuffed, but if you need more stuff,
I think
we'll get you more.
I think they're very stuffed.
Okay, perfect.
Oh my God.
Here's one. You want two?
I will definitely be taking two.
Okay, great.
I
Here, I'll give you one with a lot of sugar and one with not as much. I'll have one.
This is too much.
But yeah, so would your younger self like
my
the crepes?
younger self would definitely be loving this. He would be eating this with his hands.
Yeah,
part of me maybe
I'm
actually be eating this with his hands. I'll eat with my hands.
Cheers.
Cheers, Matthew.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me. Wow.
Can't go wrong with chocolate and beautiful bready crepes, right?
It's amazing, Matthew. My nutritionist would be so upset right now.
Good. Fuck that. Enjoy it. You're here.
The video's done.
Yeah.
The video's done.
You can work out tomorrow.
I will be working out tomorrow after this. But was it worth it? When I'm on that treadmill tomorrow, this was all worth it. I'm gonna take another bite after I answer your question. But yeah, 7-year-old self, he would be eating that. The Nutella crepes would be the icing on the cake for him.
Yay.
What would I tell him though?
Yeah.
You know, I was always a dreamer, ever since I was a kid. So I guess the main thing I would tell him is just nowadays I'm lucky to surround myself with people like you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of us are creatives, and so they understand the pursuit of trying to create content or trying to just tell stories. But when I was growing up, you know, I went to a small school, went to international schools overseas, and so the population of the schools were very small. Everyone knew each other, and in many ways I always felt kind of like the odd one, because I was always carrying around a little camera. I'd film everything. I was like the guy from American Beauty, just less creepy.
Okay, yeah, not that, hopefully not that creepy.
Yeah, but I would film everything. I don't think, I wouldn't say I wasn't like singled out for it, but I still just felt odd. Yeah. You know, I felt like everyone else is pursuing, you know, they're pursuing typical high school, middle school things, and I was just filming things and making weird short films. So I guess, but that passion went back to when I was 7, right? This is the only, like I've said this already, but creating stuff was always the only thing I ever wanted to do. Never wanted to do anything else. Mm-hmm. I had no other dreams. And so I guess I would just tell my 7-year-old self that, you know, whatever doubts you may feel in the coming years about what you want to do, you know, fuck it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Film your weird little videos, even though they may make me cringe now, but I still love them for what they are, you know, and just know that, you know, those things help shape the voice that I now have as a creator. They help shape what I want to accomplish, and they help shape the path I'm on now. I learned so much about editing when I was like 13 or 14 making these videos, you know. I learned so much about storytelling through the videos I would make, or YouTube videos I'd make when I was in college.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would tell my 7-year-old self. And I would also tell my 7-year-old self that in 20 years from now, when you're in an MMA cage, don't let the guy put you in a front face lock. And if he does, swim your arm up here so you get out of the guillotine choke and don't pass out.
Wait, did that still like bug you that you lost? Like, no,
it doesn't.
I'm like, you cannot.
It does
Don't beat yourself up.
No, I make jokes about it. Okay. Honestly, like, that's what's so interesting about the fight itself is like, people told me beforehand, or the one fighter I spoke to beforehand said that when he was talking about his first loss, he said he couldn't sleep for a week, and I was like, shit, is that gonna happen to me? But as soon as the fight was over, I was like, you know, because you know why? It was before I went into the fight, and I think you see it in the video, is I accepted that whatever happens, I was totally fine with it. Yeah. And that was why I felt so calm going to the fight, is that the victory was accomplished before I stepped in there.
Exactly.
But, you know, and plus, you know what? The shot of me passing out, hey, what an image.
Yeah,
that's more fun.
Cool.
Better a shot of me passing out than me getting my hand raised. That's boring.
Yeah, that's too cliche.
Yeah,
too normal.
You want to see me just die.
And spill pasta on myself too.
I will eat this though. Oh my god, what a treat.
Oh, it's like leaking Nutella.
My favorite. Oh my god.
But so thank you for all of this. Thank you for spending time with me.
Look at this. You're crazy. This man is so sweet. Just thanking to me.
But I mean, it's true, you know, I mean, especially in this day and age, I have found that it is really hard to spend good quality time with people. Mm-hmm. Everyone is so busy, especially in this town, especially when you have like crazy jobs like us. So you taking time out of your day to enjoy this with me means a lot. And also like for all you guys at home, like honestly, I know this is a crazy long show and it can at times be boring, but for those of you who tell me you do watch the entire thing and that you like use it in your daily life to like listen while you're working or cooking, it means so much, because I want to get back to a time where people don't rush so much. And I'm telling this because I need to know it. but just take your time to enjoy good people, enjoy good food, and enjoy good conversation. So thank you, Aria, for being here. And you guys, all the videos he's mentioned throughout this, I'll link down below, but go follow him on Instagram. I'll have it down below it, but it's Aria Inthavong. Okay. And go enjoy all his videos, because it's gonna be great now, but they're gonna even get better in the future, and I cannot wait to see what that is.
You're so sweet, Matthew, and I thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm also guilty of it, that we just don't take enough time to just sit down and enjoy things for what they are. So I'm glad I got to sit here with you. This food was incredible. Thank you so much for having me. This Nutella crepe, I'm gonna probably have a third.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these are all for you. I mean, you're gonna bring more home, because
no, I don't know if I should do that.
My goal is to keep him chubby and not have him keep those abs. Because I'm jealous.
You're doing a good job destroying them right now.
Yeah.
But I'll run tomorrow.
So guys, thanks for watching. We're gonna eat more crepes, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Yay! Here, take another one.
This is incredible. Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.